Hey friend, welcome back to the Organized-ish Parent Podcast. I'm your host, Diane Jimenez. And today, I want to name something that a lot of moms feel, but almost nobody says out loud. Your home feels hard to maintain. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care enough, and certainly not because you haven't found the perfect system. It feels hard because your home is fighting for your life. And I promise you, once you understand why it feels hard, you're going to feel lighter. Like you can finally stop blaming yourself because what you're dealing with is not a cleaning problem. It's a flow problem. Parenting can feel like a lot, especially when you're the one carrying the mental load, managing the home, and trying to keep everything from falling apart. If you're tired of being the default for everything and you want simple systems that help your home run with more calm, more structure, and more teamwork, you're in the right place. Hey there, I'm Diane Jimenez, mom of 3, coach, and professional organizer. And on this podcast, we talk about more than just organizing your home. We cover reducing the mental load, teaching kids real life skills, and creating routines that actually work in real family life. So whether you're folding laundry, out for a walk, or hiding in your car for a minute of peace, I'm so glad you're here. Let's get into it. If your home feels like it falls apart the second you stop moving, it's not because you're messy. It's because your home doesn't have a clear path for life to move through it. Let me give you the core truth right away. A home doesn't run on motivation. It runs on flow. Flow is what happens when things have an obvious place to go, even when you're tired, rushed, or distracted. Flow is what makes your house feel easy. And friction is what makes your house feel heavy. So if your home feels hard to maintain, that means friction is winning. And the good news is you don't need to organize harder. Let me say that again. You don't need to organize harder. You need to fix the friction points, all right? So let's break it down. Number 1, your house isn't messy. It's overloaded at transition points. Most clutter doesn't come from random chaos. It comes from the same moments over and over again. So what are these moments? Well, it's walking through the door, coming home from school, switching from work mode to home mode, getting ready for bed, getting out the door. And what do those moments have in common? Your hands are full, your brain is full, and everyone is moving. So if your house doesn't have a clear system for those transitions, your counters become the system. Your dining table becomes the system. Your stairs become the system. And that's not you failing. That's your home missing a landing pad. Number 2, your systems might be built for the best version of your family. This is one of the biggest reasons moms feel like nothing sticks. A lot of homes are set up like this. If everyone just remembers, if everyone just puts stuff away, if everyone just followed the plan. But here's the truth. If your system requires everyone to be consistent, calm, and motivated, it's not a system. That's a wish. A real system works on real days, when you're tired, on the days where the kids are extra, on the days when something spills, someone forgets, and you're already behind, right? Number 3, flow happens when your home has default paths. This is the part that changes everything. Flow is built on defaults. So what does this mean? Default means this is where it goes without thinking. This is what we do without debating. This is the path we follow even when we're not trying. And the reason why defaults matter so much is because moms don't run out of energy. They run out of decisions. So if your home requires you to decide where everything goes every single day, you feel exhausted in your own space, right? And it's not because you're weak. No, not at all. It's because you're human. And this is exactly where the default parent problem gets louder. Because when flow is broken, guess what happens? Someone becomes the translator, the decider, the where does this go person, the what do we do now person, right? And that person is almost always mom. So you're not just cleaning, you're doing micromanagement, moving things back to where they belong, answering questions, correcting the process, resetting what shouldn't have been undone. That's why a home with a broken flow doesn't just look messy, it feels heavy. Because you're carrying the system in your head. And when we fix the flow, we reduce the amount of mom brain required to live in the house. Let me describe a pattern that happens in so many homes. Picture this and tell me if this feels familiar. You walk into the house, you have a bag and your traveler's mug dangling from 2 fingers and a water bottle from the other 2 fingers. Maybe you have a lunch bag, a gym bag, maybe some papers, a flyer that was stuck in your car from earlier this afternoon. You're clutching that stack of mail you remembered to go pick up, and your keys hanging in the same hand. Maybe you have a jacket or a sweater, and maybe even some kid stuff on you hanging at your elbows. And you think, I'll put this away in a minute. But something else happened. Someone needs help. Someone is hungry. Someone else is calling you. And because there isn't a clear landing spot, you set it on the counter or you set it on the island. Then the pile becomes your stress trigger. And then at the end of the day, you look at it and think, why can't I keep this house under control? But you're not out of control. Your flow is. Because your counter and your island and the stairs and all that isn't a mess. It's a symptom. It's your house telling you, we don't have a default for this. So here's the shift that I want you to take away from this episode. Stop trying to keep the whole house clean. Start trying to make the house move smoother. Because when flow improves, maintenance gets easier. You do less, but it looks like you're doing more. That's what good systems do. So here's what I want you to do this week. Not 10 things, not a home makeover. 1 friction point. Pick a place where mess collects the fastest. You know where it is. In case you didn't, most of the times, it's one of these areas. The entryway, the kitchen counter, the dining table, the stairs, the laundry zone. Now, here's the key. You're not fixing it with organizing. No, you're fixing it with a default. So, I want you to set up a simple landing zone. And it can be ugly at first. I mean it. It can be ugly because a good system is allowed to be ugly in version 1. Your job right now is function, not aesthetics. So here's a simple structure that works. And I like to call it the 3-bucket landing zone. I know it's attractive. So in bucket 1, today is papers that need attention, permission slips, one thing you must handle. Bucket number 2 is the belongs to bucket. It's stuff that belongs to someone else. So Each person gets a small bin, a basket, or a spot. Remember, it's going to be ugly, and that's okay. Bucket number 3 is leaving. These are returns, library books, anything that must go out the door, okay? And then you add 2 physical anchors, a hook or basket for bags, a shoe spot that makes sense for your family. And that's it. 7 days, no perfection required here, okay? Just give your home a default path. And if you're thinking, my family won't use it, I've got 2 things for you right now. 1, you're not building it for their motivation. You're building it for reality. Number 2, if they don't use it at first, that doesn't mean that it failed. It just means it needs adjustment. Systems are trained, not discovered. Because when flow is broken, moms become the routine, right? And when moms become the routine, nothing sticks for anyone. So, how to build responsibility in a way that actually lasts. If you want help identifying your biggest friction point, take my What's Your Organizing Style quiz. I'll link it in today's show notes, or you can just grab it at dianejimenez.com/quiz. That's DIANNEJIMENEZ.com/quiz. And you can grab it right after this episode or whenever you're free. And if you want me to send you the exact 3-bucket landing zone setup written out, comment flow and I'll send it to you, okay? Remember, your house isn't hard because you're doing it wrong. It feels hard because your flow is working against you. Fix the flow and your home gets lighter. Okay, my friend, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day today. Let's talk soon, okay? Bye-bye.